What's up? I'm Tyler with Whatever Blows Your Hair Back.
And I'm Juan Franco, your host.
And we got Gio and we got Trinidad on the show today. We're gonna listen to, their relationship, how Gio and Trinidad work together. I guess someone's a fat boy or something. I don't know, but we're gonna hear about it today.
Let's do it.
Whatever blows your hair back.
It's Whatever Blows Your Hair Back. I'm Tyler. This is Gio Martinez. We're gonna talk about this man, badass boxer, hot on the speed bag. And then we got Trinidad. Trinidad represents Gio. Trinidad's the owner of Unanimous Boxing. Great guy. I do a lot of work with him, and in the future, hope to do even more. We've got a growing relationship. Anyways, we're here to school Gio, talk about him. It's his day right now. So what we want to know first is, how did Trinidad even find you? What's your discovery, and then why do you even work with him?
All right. So I've been boxing my whole life. I started boxing when I was like 8 years old, 10, around there. Not 8. Yeah.
How old are you right now?
25 now.
So you're 25. Start boxing at 8,
Yeah.
10 years old. You've been boxing 15 years.
Yeah.
You're
So,
comfortable.
I'm pretty comfortable with it, yeah. Been in and out here and there because of like personal stuff, school, stuff like that.
But-
It's gotten in the way, but
Boxing, you get to go in and out. I tell people this a lot, is you go in and out, but you carry forever. Football,
Yeah.
you stop playing when you're a senior in high school, and you only get to play when you're in high school, and you only get to train when you got enough 22 guys with the gear, right?
Right, yeah.
So that's why that career is a short end.
Yeah.
Boxing
I
goes forever.
I get it. I agree with that statement,
I preach it.
but it don't last forever. And that's one of the biggest problems with saying necessarily the professional game. He can do that as he was doing that. Like, right now Giovanni is 1-1, and we'll get deeper into that in a minute. But he's 1-1. You can do that shit in the amateurs. You can come in and out. You can't do that in the pros. You're either sticking with it for all the way through, or you're not really going through it at all.
Yeah, now I'm not a pro. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I guess when I say carry the sport, it means you get to actively practice it.
Yeah.
And be involved in it if you want to step in the ring. But if that's your career, yeah, you can't do that. But football, you still can't step in and step out.
No.
You can't go, hey, I'm going to go train for the day, get your pad, you come back.
I think that's the hardest part. I think for like professional boxers, right? I mean, I'm 39. My last fight was 8 years ago. But you're like, in my head,
You felt like you just...
I feel like I can fucking fight tomorrow.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen. What I'm saying is that.
Well, your skill's there, but you know your body.
But there's nowhere else. Like you said, once a professional career is over and you know it's over, there's nowhere else for you to go. And I think that's the hardest part for a lot of fighters, and because they don't know how to stay in the game, they rather either completely leave it or try to become a trainer, which trainers that were boxers don't always.
And you see more of it. That's why I'm
100%.
trying to talk about it. So
Yeah.
I got, sorry to throw you off, man. I guess you could carry this forever, but it's telling you, fuck you.
Yeah.
If you don't run this pro game until you're done, and then if you don't have no
He
interest
knows.
in a trainer,
I'm
you
fully-
out.
Yeah, I'm fully committed now. I'm over all that.
You gotta
bullshit.
have that though. He's
Yeah,
got your back, and he's
that's
like
for
telling
sure.
Here's the reason I'm hard on Gio.
I just see it. He's hard on
Okay,
you.
I'm hard on, let's like this straight. He walks to my gym probably about 2 months after I opened it. I didn't know him. Other coach in the city of Chicago knew him. He won national tournaments as an amateur. He was always right there as the best in the city of Chicago. There was no doubt about it. Okay, I didn't know him as that. I knew him as another trainer in my gym. Asked me, said, hey, this kid from college, he's in town. I'm gonna start training him. He's really, really good, man. You really gotta see him. I'm like, yeah, okay. So he comes in and he's like, yeah, he fights at like, he's probably fat right now. He's probably like 118. Motherfucker walks in the door at like 150 something. And I was like, damn, Fat Gio. So from that moment on,
Yeah.
he used to fight at 101.
Yeah.
I love watching guys like you fight. You're like fast as fuck.
What's it called? What's it called?
I love
And
watching
so-
fast fighters.
So I meet him and it's, and I was like, so his nickname for me is Fat Gio. That's not what we're gonna fucking name him.
I get it because you're 118 walking at 150.
I also
fat
hit
boy.
like a heavyweight. So
Call the bullshit on that. What's it
I
called?
like
But
handling this guy.
You know what?
Both
No,
motherfuckers
but
are
you know
players,
what?
dude.
And it was never a question if he was good. Fuck, right now I know he's good. His record says 1-1. Look, we went to Mexico. He knocked the guy in the second round quick and sweet.
That's what I'm talking
It wasn't
about, dude.
close. It was a fucking blowout. Our next fight, it was a little too early. I wasn't the one managing him at the time. I wasn't the one doing that. I don't actually blame anybody. I think that sometimes when you, as a man, you need to say no. That's a lesson that you got to be like, don't think that this fight's the right fight for me yet. Now he goes in against a guy who is 6-1 and he's 1-0. That's a big fucking difference in competition level. And the other guy fought on a top ranked card. He didn't. He goes there and he loses a split decision. Everybody else in the fucking world online said he won. But that doesn't really matter because those people aren't the ones that matter. It's those three assholes in the sitting down in front of the thing. And he lost. So
That's
he took
funny.
some time.
Everyone's a coach, everyone's a judge in the fucking, but it don't matter.
You know,
It's
he took some time off. And he took some time off and he refound the love of the sport. He started going to Golden Gloves just to go watch. And
Isn't it different when you go to a fight to watch? It's just less stressful, maybe.
Yeah,
from
100%. Yeah, it is.
I like going and watching. I'm like, oh man, it sucked to be in the fucking.
well, it was
left field
crazy
exact
because
right now.
my wife was up there. My wife was up there and she's talking to him. And she looks at him and she goes, "You miss us, huh?" He goes, "Fuck."
Hold on, this is a
My
perfect
wife
example
told
though. This is a perfect example of what we just talked about on picking somebody out of the crowd. This motherfucker's in the crowd. He shows up to a fight. Someone doesn't show up. Gio's got his rec. What you just talked?
Yeah.
You just talking. This is what I was talking about. These guys are in the crowd, all in the crowd. So when you say pick a guy out of the crowd, yeah, he might have his sneakers on too.
But
Let's
here's
stop
a
it. That's
mess.
all I'm saying. In my
There,
life.
I feel you and I get what you're coming from.
I see these guys
Okay.
in the crowd. This is what
But
I
I'll
see in
tell
the
you,
crowd.
I'll
don't
tell
go
you.
pick a fight
Do
in a box.
you know why that got away? Do you know why they got away with it in the '90s and maybe very early 2000s?
He's still doing that shit.
No,
I'm
they
from-
don't. They don't do
Not
that.
in the pros.
In fucking
but
Indiana
I'm
and a
saying-
bunch of other
yeah,
fucking,
I'm from Michigan.
fucking
Michigan,
hillbilly
we
ass
fucking-
states.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about it, that stuff stops really quick, right? Giovanni Martinez. I have my fucking phone. It's gonna tell me fucking his underwear size all the way to his fucking, to what's the last thing he ate yesterday. This is the world of technology.
You're
now.
right. You're right. I'm not saying I'm
Yeah.
right. I want to just preach why I like think that that's okay.
Yeah.
Why I think that that's okay.
At the end of the day, it's safety first. I mean, plain
You're
and
right.
simple.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not. No,
Yeah.
safety's first. And you're telling everything that you're saying. I agree with.
Mhm.
But the reality of like, can you pick a fighter from the crowd, and is he going to be good? This dude's in the crowd. You're going to get him. You might get KO'd, and the fight's going to be upset. Like, what the fuck? And that's why that exists. That's why, because those things do happen. So that's just. I just wanted to just.
No, I completely get
preach
it.
that on
And
that.
with him, it was one of those things where it's like, when I see his career and I think about his career moving forward, it's gonna be a challenge. It's going to be a
Is
challenge.
there a lot of guys in your weight class?
No, that's not what I mean by a challenge. I mean, of course, then there's the fight. But I'm fucking talking about
logistics. We're talking about logistics.
logistic wise. If I were to pull up that box rec, which is a national database for every fight, every fighter, and every weight class in the world, and they rank them. Okay,
Yeah.
if I were to pull that up right now, at 160 pounds, I'm just gonna throw a number, 2,000 fighters on there in the world at 160. I pull up grown ass man at 118. There's 65. So now
Back
I'm
up to
competing
full
with
high.
65 people throughout the world. And then you're still talking about logistics. How much is it going to cost to get somebody from fucking Nicaragua to come fight in Chicago?
So you're in the game. That's what both your fighters fighting. He's fighting on the Bobby Hits card too, on the
June
18th
18th. Yep.
at Rosemont. That's cool. And another hard find for you
Another hard fight.
because you got a female fighter,
So
hard find. You're a lightweight.
You're dipping in different things. You're dipping in avenues now where, he could fight at 118, but I'm looking at guys I look at guys at 112, be like, hey, you want to come up 6 pounds?
He'd probably be like, yeah, man.
So, or
Yeah,
I talk to a guy, who fought at 126. Can you make 124? Can you make 122? Or a guy 122? Can you come down to 118? How about we meet in the middle of 120?
Well,
Yeah.
we know Fat Boy gets to 150.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but he ain't that fighter at 150. He's just fat. There's a difference, But in that sense behind it, at that point, it smells like bacon grease when he trains. What the fuck is that? No, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where so we're looking for these opponents, and I believe I do have one already for him. A couple. I gotta coincidentally, people actually answer you back. But this is us searching for these right opponents to build him. So, like, my step for him is to have a guy that I'm never going to look for somebody that's not going to increase his career. Whether that means somebody, if he beats a guy next who's 1-2, It's a
What
good
makes
win.
you look after this guy? What makes you look at what made you put him?
Because
under
he
your wing?
has too much fucking skill, and he's the only one that doesn't believe in himself.
I can see that shit kind of in a way. I
the
can see
the way that I met Trent was through my trainer, Robinson Ayala. You guys gotta meet him. He's a funny guy.
Bring him,
Like 4'10".
Short guy. So you
Short
got,
guy.
you got,
He's walking, I know. That's why he stays with him. So you gotta feel the bump.
So I've been with him since I started boxing. Well, my first coach was Bill. I started in the Park District. It wasn't that serious, but when I met Robinson, that's when he started teaching me the whole game.
What part this year?
Hamlin Park.
Hamlin. With Bill there?
Bill.
Dude,
Yeah.
Bill. I watched. So I was like, when I moved to Chicago 10 years ago, I was from Michigan. I was like, hick town, like what I was telling you about. The fights I used to, I could walk up and have a beer, but I could get in this fight and fight that guy. Anyways, that's where I come from. And Bill, I'm a Marine, and Bill was a military guy. When I moved here, I goes, I want to feel the Chicago vibe, because I started working on DePaul. What the fuck is this? This is like a bunch of college, because I was the best boxer there, and I don't say much. And then I went to like CFC, and I started going around the gyms, and I'm like, I'm not feeling the real. I want to get my ass beat by everyone in the room. And I walked into Hamlin Park. I'm like, this is what the fuck? This is dirty, like Rocky.
The
Like
smell of
the smell of this
Yeah.
sweat and grind of years in the locker room. Just like, it's a real locker room, but it's from like 100 years ago. And then you got Bill, who's like a Vietnam guy, and it's like, he always says it's back to the basics,
Yeah.
and he put me on the white tape. And that's it, you know, I'm just doing is like move forward. All you're doing is throwing a jab. Like, fuck, dude, this is what I was doing when I started.
Yeah.
So then, but I'm like, I'm gonna work with this dude. And then I just got I started sparring, I'll get beat up. Sat home beat up, and I'm like, this is the real Chicago. No one knows about it. Hamlin Park.
Yeah.
I was there, and
Hamlin's been around forever.
but I didn't say
Yeah,
about
yeah,
me.
no, for you,
I
though,
know
it felt
where
new.
he came from.
Yeah.
That dirty dirt.
Yeah, no,
That
yeah.
dirty. I
lot
found it.
of
It
us,
took me a
man.
long time to find it, and I found it. And
I
Cool.
think that's why guys like me, guys like Ramos, guys like some of the younger guys coming in from Chicago is because we watched, like, we came from those dirty ground, came from the original Windy City Gym, you know, at a very young age. I was fucking, I don't know, 9, 8,
you
9
heard
years old.
jab, or I want
No, well, that was late. That came around when
That
I was already
later.
21 years old. Jab then was around, 20 years ago. But Windy City Gym is where the Ali movie got shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did all those things there. So it's like you're going back to, like, those times where we used to watch the grimiest. Like, me as a manager and a trainer, you knew what you didn't want to be trained like. Because you watch some of the guys, you watch some of the dirty business that went on, you watch all that shit. You're like,
dirty
I'm
place.
not gonna let this go.
And,
And in his case, he took a fight early on that reminded me very of that part of the business that you're hoping that I can not allow him to go down. Like, I don't want to see him go down a hole that he shouldn't have to. And that's my job
You
to
went
stop
down a
it.
hole when you took that fight and you lost. Were you like, fuck, man?
Honestly,
this
man,
fucking-
now looking back, I feel like it was a risky fight. I feel like I could beat him, but I feel like I need a little bit more experience before I stepped in, because I only got, honestly, a round and a half of
Pro experience.
Pro experience, because my first fight
we
was
only went around and a half.
yeah. So
And imagine that you're going in with a guy
yeah.
who's been in the ring with future world champions and future prospects, and the other guy, and beat some of them, and only lost one, who's went rounds, and he's been a round and a half in the ring. It just wasn't time yet. I think I was there. I went to the fucking fight. I wasn't his manager. I went there to go help in the corner, and I was there, and I sat there at that time, and I was like, we almost beat the fucking guy. Everybody in the world had us beating him except for the 3 judges. but when you sit back and you think about that,
But that's all that matters is 3 judges.
but when you sit back and you think about that, even if he had won, yeah, it was great. He won, right? Then we move on to the next one. But the next one's going to be harder because he just fought a hard fight. No one's going to take him. You can't build his career a certain way. It just wasn't the right time at that moment. It wasn't that it wasn't the right fight. It wasn't the right
Okay.
moment to fight that guy.
Got it.
That's it. Otherwise, the whole reason I pick him up was because it was like one of these things where I'm watching him and I'm like, fuck, dude, I know what you're capable of doing. And I know that you have this much more skill. Fucking
What's he missing?
If
What
he
are you
did the
missing?
Golden Gloves this year, he fucking knocks everybody out in the first 2 rounds. That's how confident I am in his ability. It's how confident all of us are. Lalo, which obviously both you guys know, who works with him too. We always were like, he's the one that we gotta invest our time and our real fucking effort in. Is Gio.
Look at this, man. You got people back again.
And then you know, and I'll be honest, he pisses me off 98% of the
No,
time.
he's gonna tell us what he's doing.
But
that
not
pisses
right
you
now.
off.
He's not. But not right now. He's not.
So I was pissed.
Yeah.
Like, what
I told him to show up at a certain time. You do it. I tell you you're gonna be with our strength and conditioning coach. You're there. I tell you we're sparring this time. You do it. It's a growth thing. I think after that loss and now watching just the young bucks coming up in the amateurs. Then I took them with me to go see the Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. And you know, our experience was different. Yes, it was
literally
fifth row.
under his wing. He got you
Lit-
there.
Because I wanted you know what it is I need you now to love the sport again. To be successful in it, you gotta love it.
So you didn't.
And you
love
gotta
the
hate
sport
this
after you
motherfucker
lost?
at the same time.
It was a letdown, you know, because no one wants to lose that O. But I was just looking at things wrong, you know. One, I wasn't preparing the way I should have been preparing for that fight. My diet wasn't all the way there either, so it was all a learning experience for me, you know. Now that's how I look at it, and
As you should.
yeah,
As
And,
you should.
And I feel like I needed even though it's an individual sport, you know, it's just all the boxer, but you need a solid team
You need a team
behind
It's
you.
a
you
team
know?
sport
So
for
I have
sure.
I have a good coach, multiple coaches. He has a lot of connections. Trinidad. He has gyms that I can use. You know,
Facilities,
so he
yeah.
helps me out in that way. And Lalo's a big help. Some of the trainers that work for Trinidad, amazing people. You know, and we bring all that together, we might get the recipe right. You know.
You know, you're 100 on that, so like that's a really good outlook because you need those guys in your back corner. And I've been learning that. You know, I'm kind of in the politics of boxing. I just started kind of diving in this route. You know, I was never a professional fighter, so it's a different path, and I'm taking into the sport.
I think you're taking the right path. I mean, it's as goofy as it may sound. I think once you start getting into the fighting professionally, I miss amateur boxing. Me as a fighter, I don't miss pro boxing. I don't miss being a professional fighter. I miss more the amateur.
I think everyone would say that.
Well, the problem is because then it becomes a business and the fucking fun and love out of it is gone.
Gone.
Like when you lose a professional fight, you lose one professional fight, everybody knows you're the guy who has one loss.
Yeah.
And it's like I have 25 wins, but I have one loss, and fucking everybody only reminds you is that. In the amateurs, I tell everybody this: the only person that's gonna remember about tomorrow is the only person that's gonna remember this tomorrow is you. Nobody gives a
No
fuck.
one gives a fuck. You're right.
You lost on a Thursday. You're fucking fighting on Saturday. You won that one. Remember, the people are always gonna remember you won the last one.
And that's where you're most
It's just the
inspired.
way it is, and it's like with him is after he lost that fight in Atlantic City, I said, "Fuck it, let's get back in there." I wanted him to continue, and he did for a little while. And I was gonna get him a fight, and then he told me he needed a break. And in boxing, you tell me you need a break, that's fine, because I'll be very honest with you, straight up.
What's a break? What's a break?
You need to get away.
Yeah.
Just-
I was just eating whatever.
Yeah, you need. All right, that's what I would say. Like you just wanted to let your weight go, turn with Mr. Fat. This makes sense. No,
Yeah,
all right.
went back to my
Went
old
back to where you were
nickname.
comfortable. No one was telling you what to do. You had no responsibilities, or did you go entertain and be active doing something else?
It was more like I was just like in my mind, you know, trying to get myself together again, and I mean, just like going out, friends, enjoying time
Enjoying
with
yourself.
my family,
Okay.
stuff like that, and then it's just like after a while, you just like I always find myself back into the sport. It's like a toxic ex that you can't get over, you know. You just gotta.
You gotta keep on going.
I got it. Yeah, I feel what he feels, but I find myself in so many gyms just because I want to be around boxers.
Yeah.
I want to be on the speed. I want to see how I don't know, like that's where I'm comfortable at, and so I get away from it sometimes. I'm like, I gotta get back because when your joints start moving different, like dude, it's either I'm not using it now, like a rusty car. You put the race car away, it still deteriorates. You know, you still got to go back in the race a little bit, do some hot laps, warm it up. If you can go back, and like you have to treat your body the same.
But I think when it comes to like to his career, like this right now, like this next one. Although I was involved with the Mexico one, getting the fight for him and taking care of all that, and I did all that. But like now being in more of an understanding of this is a marathon. Unlike, you know, with Olivia Curry that we were on with.
She's
with
on different
women's
time
boxing.
frames,
With women's boxing, there's just so many of them. Fucking 5 fights, you fight for a world title.
That's great.
You know, 6 fights, you fight for a world title. And him, if he's at 118, he might
Right,
get there
10,
quicker than most men because it's a smaller weight
Yeah, a
class.
little
10,
more.
15 fights, 15 fights, successful 15 fights, right?
What are you looking at? Maybe 2 lot?
No, fuck no. I'm looking at this motherfucker being 15-1. When I'm done, when my goal with him is 15-1, I don't think about losing.
All right, that's how you
He's-
gotta be. Sorry, I brought it up. Fuck, am I?
You know, like it's one of these things where it's like we're in this to win it. Like I'm not in this to do anything less.
Well, you got yeah.
And I've had other fighters. I'm not gonna name names. Come and talk to me about training with me, or come and talk to me about managing them. And I literally look at them, then I look at my family, and I think, yeah, you're gonna waste my time.
That's true.
Right? And so at the end of the day, I have my son who's a cross country athlete. Fucking go and run with these assholes and see if they can catch him. They can catch anything. They still haven't.
That's a
caught
good
him
way
yet.
to bring your family.
100%. It's just it's the
the
smallest thing. My wife's the general manager at both of her fucking at our gyms.
So that's
right?
how you make it where that's what brings the family
The
together.
family into it. When I succeed, we all succeed. But I don't just look at that as my immediate family. I look at that for him. I look at that for Olivia. As Olivia gets bigger, he's going to get bigger, which our connections are going to get bigger, which is going to build us. It took me a long time to be able to give that away. Like with Rick Ramos, he's the co-manager with Olivia. I've known Rick for fucking 25 years, I think is what it is. And when he would always talk to me about, hey, what do you think about us managing Olivia with each other? I'll be first and honest with you. I switched the fucking topic because the answer was no. I didn't want it.
And then
you
see the camaraderie partnership and maybe.
Well, you know what? I don't trust pretty much anybody. I think most people will tell you, like, I don't trust anybody 100%. I don't trust anybody 100%. It's as simple as that. But my friendships that I have built, I've known Rick. I always make jokes to him because when everybody knows him as Ricardo Ramos, I know him as Rick. So when every once in a while, when he starts to get a little bit mouthy, I'll be like, relax, Ricardo. And he'll laugh. No, he knows that. And then we laugh together, we go about it. But we know each other. We talk about family and friends and fucking, normal life, fucking 401k. We talk about stupid ass shit. But when I brought him in, there's a part of the business that I did not know yet that he's already at. He's at a championship level.
Yeah. I seen that. I'll be honest too. I started looking up again, like, this motherfucker, he's a little up there. Then I started knowing, like, okay, I see where he's at.
And so I took it. So I took that with, if I'm going to learn, why not learn from somebody that I trust?
I agree. Okay.
So you move up, and then we manage Olivia, and then we move on. And as those opportunities come, as I start to make those connections, I can use those connections towards other of my fighters that I believe are worth it.
It's a great play, by the way. I think that was a good play to work together.
And I appreciate that. And with us, it's we, when it comes to like him, I just told him straight up, look, I believe you can be at this level if you give everything that you got. I'm not gonna lie to anybody.
Do you want to be like the best? So what I want to do is
best in Chicago shouldn't be his goal.
Chicago should be the best fighters. We should be the badasses. Like, I don't know why we don't have this record. Chicago.
I'll tell you right now, this is a simple conversation I'm having. The reason why is because we're so segregated as a fucking bunch of what's called, you're gonna steal mine and I'm gonna steal yours, and
we gotta come together,
this
man.
gym's
Chicago's
gonna
gotta come together. Chicago has to come together.
Dude, it's the same conversation since I was 7 years old. You don't go over there without sparring without me. There's no such thing as that. I'm a very rare person who actually has other coaches that be like, I'm not gonna make it today. Go train with Lalo is a perfect example. Go train. Most people be like, don't even go to the fucking gym today. I'm not gonna be there. Talk to nobody.
Yeah, that's not the way we want to do it.
What's it called? But the problem is that's the way it still is.
We can change.
It's unfortunate as fuck.
Share the love.
Like, look, this year we had, I think it was like five or four Golden Glove champions, right? I was involved in one of them. My team made that happen. People are like, oh, Trinidad, they won a bunch of unanimous. No, Trinidad didn't do shit. I didn't work on 90% of those amateurs. My team developed it. And if I can't live by that, not just in being a manager for these guys, I have to live with that period. So it's like when all of a sudden I hear people be like, there's a fucking rumor out there that I stole fighters when me and Lalo were the national Golden Glove coaches. Who? Not one person can name the shit. What? You know what? Only people that can get stolen are the people that want to be stolen.
Yeah, they're hunting for something.
Fuck you! Everybody knows that shit.
Yeah,
a fighter's only gonna leave the trainer because they fucking feel like that other person can't give it to you.
You got it.
Right? I didn't take one. Not one of those fucking people were, what's it called? They all came to us when they wanted to make a decision to go somewhere else. So we accepted it. But I have coaches that tell me I'm fucking Golden Glove fucking presidents that tell me, oh, Trinidad, hey, swiper, because they say I steal things. Get the fuck out of here. I don't steal anything. You know what I do? Is I pay for them to go to nationals and don't ask for a dime back.
That's it.
I do stuff. Oh, I'm
stealing.
sorry. Oh, you don't want your brother. I had
paying for
Josh Hernandez, who used to be at a one gym, and now he's trained and managed by Rick Ramos. That was with me from when I opened the gym 6 years ago to up until this year. Just, he growth and he got a different job and he moves on. I love the kid to death. Who I never at one point ever said I should train you. Never. 6 years. I've known him since he was fucking 5. And I'm never at one point. Why? Because I don't steal fighters. I don't need to steal fighters. And I'll be honest with you, there's a reason why I only help train too. Because I don't want them. Because it's not that I don't want them. He should feel that way. It's more than anything else. I don't like working with people because most people can't give me everything that they got.
He's a straight shooting businessman.
And 100%. Look, let me explain. And I mean this sincerely. People don't like Rick Ramos. People don't like him.
I like Rick. I don't know him.
No, you don't know him. You don't know him. Do you know why? Do you know why most people don't like? Do you know why most people don't like Rick? It's because Rick is brutally honest.
I think that's why a lot of people don't like a lot. That's
100%.
Bobby Hintz. He's an asshole, but he's just brutally honest.
It's a lot of everybody is brutally honest, and it's just like, what is he saying? Like I hear somebody be like, that guy's a jag-off because he's blah blah blah. Why is he a jag-off? Like, why is he a jag? What? That doesn't make him a jag-off because he's that. In my opinion, most of the time, when he said the truth. You did steal that fighter. Did you meet him at nationals? Yes. Did he ask you if you would train him? Yes. Did you tell him to go talk to his trainer before he went to him? No. Well, you're a jag-off. With him, when we started this particular camp and getting ready for him for this camp, I love his trainer, Robinson. The guy trains people in my gym. The guy's the most humble dude in the world. I love the guy to death. But the first thing I said to him is, you're training a lot with me and with Lalo a lot. I need you to go talk to him first.
For sure.
Have that conversation with him.
Yep.
And I say that, and he did. He's a grown-ass man, as he should.
It's a relationship thing, right?
100% it is.
You're like, hey, man,
yeah, and
my time over with this guy, he trains.
And so we deal with it, and we go on, and that's the way we expect it to happen. And with him, it's so interesting because I watch some of these other guys that are hot prospects he spars anybody between 140 and down, right? And I see this guy. And then I see him, and I'm like, this motherfucker pisses me off because he dominates it. He doesn't even make it look good.
You feel like you dominated?
I do my thing.
He'll never admit it, but that's okay. He dominates them, and then we're trying to figure out what the fuck, Gio. I've had like Olivia Curry, he'll be on the treadmill. Gio hasn't been there in 6 months. He gets in the fucking ring, he spars, beats the shit out of the guy. Grant's only for 2 rounds because he's dead tired. But he does 2 rounds, beats the shit out of the guy, and she's like, see, this doesn't make any sense.
So
I've been doing this for 12 weeks straight.
I love it.
And he naturally is so gifted.
But I see like you have an energy. I'm not like a big energy guy and crystals and stuff, dude. But I can feel like you're chill.
Yeah.
You're chill in that, and maybe like when someone wants something out of you, like Trinidad wants you to be attentive on time. Like your personality doesn't give me that you're gonna really take that shit like pop drop and like serious.
Fuck no.
That's but I feel that, bro. Look at it right here. He's just chill over here. I hear the move the whole time.
Hey, bro, he walks in. When he walks in, I tell everybody, watch when he walks. He's gonna go through the back door. He's gonna go straight to the bathroom. I was in there changing. Get your ass out of here! I saw you walk in the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's funny because a lot of coaches get pissed. I also know his personality.
I can already sense his personality right here. You got it. He needs a little kick in the ass, but it's all good love. It's all
it's one of those things where it's just like, if you don't get to know these people somewhat. Like, it's going to be funny as fuck because I'm going to admit this to him for the first time. When we went to New York, the reason I, flew him out there and got the fucking tickets and did all that, it was, one, I wanted him to fall in love with the sport again. But what it was we were fucking essentially, it was 2 things. We were courting a motherfucker, which everybody doesn't know what courting is. It's like fucking like, hey, girl, here's some flowers. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is shiny and new. I'll buy the plane ticket, Gio. Don't worry about it.
Saying
I'll be like, Gio, we're going to go.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I know what the fuck.
I was like, come on, Gio. We're gonna go 5th row to the fucking biggest event in Madison Square Garden this year.
All rocking,
and we did. You know what I'm saying? It's a way to us to essentially show you love, so you feel loved, so you feel connected. But that's what I do anyway. I fucking flew other people out there. It's about being out there.
It's an expensive ass weekend for you. You're like, you know what? I'm already 10 G's in. What's another ticket? 5, 6.
That's-
Just throw her on there. We already got an extra room in the
That's-
bed. Throw her on
That's
there.
essentially exactly what the fuck happens.
Well,
too.
once you get so
At
far
that
in,
point,
it's
you're like,
alright,
you know,
fucking
I
bring
fucked
it.
up anyway.
Yeah.
Just get this
The
motherfucker.
train's going. At this point, the additional add-ons minimum.
Exactly. Yeah. So you look at
That's
these
a small
things.
guy like this.
and
You
you
put
go
him in a
into-
suitcase.
It's one of the no shit. If I could, I would. This
Wasn't even there.
motherfucker.
They take up a seat.
Put him up on top of the
Yeah,
fucking
they take a
thing.
seat really.
The carry on. Don't worry about it.
Did
You know, he should be skinny enough. If he's not, that's his own fucking fault.
good.
But no, so with him, the goal for me is to build him back up now. It's about building back up that confidence that he could take on the world again. He doesn't lack confidence.
So all we're working on with you is confidence. It ain't skill set.
It's not no. It's not confidence in the sense of
Love
what.
the sport.
Stop questioning what he knows, God gifted talent that he has.
All right, you have a God-gifted talent, spoken by numerous people. I ain't even seen a flash of it when you just came. And I'm like, who's this little chill dude? He called. I'm like, oh, fucking speed. And it's like you just still were like chill about it. You didn't get excited about it. So I feel like, as much as that's your personality, that's what people get mad at you about. Is that you just chill about things, but maybe that's your main focus. Is that you just try not to take things so serious to maybe not get let down. No one knows your path. But like that seems to be everyone's edge on you. Is that you're too chill and you just have all the skill set in the world. And if you just gave a little bit more energy and like showed up a little earlier before the next guy, hit the bag just a little bit, fucking couple more rounds longer, there's nothing gonna stop.
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny because
That's what I'm getting at. Like he's saying.
It's one of these things where it's one of these things. It's one of these things where when we see him, when I think of him, it's the ability is right there. The ability's right there. What's it called?
What's going on?
Where is it?
But
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
Oh,
His car.
What's up, Dad? He said, "Hi, man." Bro.
What's it called? But yeah, so it's one of these things where it's like the frustration that I get. It's not from the people who don't have the most talent in the world, because those are the ones that bust their ass, right? Like 24/7, bust their ass. Like Olivia wasn't the most talented.
Yeah, you can tell she
wasn't the
worked her
most talented,
skill
but
up,
what
but
her
she's
skill
got
set is
fucking-
now, she's earned every
Yes.
fucking moment of it. With
She's
him,
driven.
his skill set was there, and he was just too goddamn lazy to take
Yeah,
it.
that's what we're talking about.
You know,
you know what it was? I mean, like, because before I went to college, I was all in it. Like, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to go pro instantly. And then, college is a safer route. And give it a try. I had the opportunity to go to U of I in Urbana-Champaign.
It's a hard choice. You know what?
Yeah.
College is safer. College was a better route in that time. The influence on you, probably.
Exactly. So I went out there, and the discipline just went out the window. It's a huge party school, man. Like,
Oh, I know.
you have all that fucking freedom, and you're 18.
I know.
Like,
I went to a big party school.
man, and it's hard, to stay consistent in the gym, and you don't have your parents.
No one gives a fuck if you
Yeah,
don't get up.
exactly.
No one actually they influence you to sleep in with.
Yep. So I picked up a bunch of bad habits out there.
Oh yeah.
Had a lot of fun though.
And you know what? That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair that you got that
It
great
really
memory.
is.
That's fair. Like when I was
100%.
looking back at it, like I think of my great memories, and I didn't do much in college, but the friends that I made, the network that I built, the girls that I met. Oh, I think about it often. Like it was a great time.
Yeah.
The education I even think about, but yes, you are. So you're not wrong there. So I that's good. But yeah, you knew you lost all your discipline, and you're like, nah, I'm not a boxer out here. I'm partying.
So then I came back after that, and I was like, man, I want to get back to boxing. I came back heavy as fuck, and then I started training.
Hence Fat Gio.
Lost all that weight, and my first fight
Still
was
been
the
Fat Gio since.
Freshman
Yeah.
15, he's
Fre-
the real
freshman
thing. Is the
25.
But 25 pounds, if people don't understand, he fought at 101, 110, 112.
You're talking
So,
101 pounds?
so to think about the fucking fact that this dude did that, so when he comes back and like here's his trainer being like, yeah, this is him here, and it's this little skinny dude, and then you're like, who the fuck is this guy? This is the fucking Paletta guy pushing the fucking cart. That's what I thought he was. And I was just like, I couldn't stop laughing. And then the first day he comes back in fucking 3 years, they put him in with some pro to spar.
Oh, you fucking sparred your first day back?
Fat, remember fucking Angel?
Fuck. Dude, my first day back, I ain't sparring nobody.
No, the guy he sparred, wasn't shit. I had no problem saying that out loud.
Well, first
Complete
day
garbage.
back,
But
fine.
I mean, complete garbage. And but you got to understand something. The skill set is so high in him that his first day back, the guy comes at him, but the first minute he just fucks the guy up.
I can't wait to watch you fight, dude.
Complete dominance to the point where you're like, what the fuck? Come the second round, this motherfucker's sweating out bacon grease, huffing and puffing. You know what the fuck? I thought it was a train. Dude, I mean, we were like, and I was dying. I said, he's like, and his trainer, Robinson at the time, goes, this dude, he's like, I'm telling you, but he's lazy. He's fat and lazy. You know, but you saw him, and he came back, and he started coming back, and 2 years later, he does the Golden Gloves in 2019. And we just walked the whole fucking field out. It wasn't really a challenge. It wasn't.
Feel that way?
It wasn't.
You feel you just went in there like, dude.
There wasn't a motherfucker in that place that even you know, it's funny because all of us have done the Golden Gloves
National
in
level
here.
too. I ain't done Golden Gloves.
No. So he won national championships, like the national Pell tournament. He won. He was the top guy at 101 at that time. But now, no. But when he first came through, so there he goes, and he just went. You know, in the Golden Gloves, you're like, all right, I won the first fight.
That's a fucking.
Then you're like, I won the quarters,
Yeah,
I won the semis. You're like,
yeah.
fucking. The more you win, you almost get more anxiety of winning.
Every
And
week you
even
play
as the
out.
coach, you're like, all right, he won the first. Good. All right, we got him past second. Fuck, that was hard.
Yeah.
Third one, you're like, shit. The
They
next
get
one,
harder.
a monster.
They for sure get harder.
With him, we were like, yeah, okay. Like, it wasn't, there was no sense of fucking, are we going to win? It was a matter of, can we just hurry up, give him the belt so we can move
Is
on?
he gonna show up to the fight?
Dude, no
Deal
shit.
with
You
the
know
fight.
what? That might be a legitimate more question to ask yourself. Does this motherfucker, did he run for the last month? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really fucking know at that time. You know, now it's a whole different story. But he was this different dude, and he would go in and dominate these things. And even guys that you saw at the national level, maybe he lost in the first round or second round in it. But these are guys that you can clearly see are going to be future champions that he's staying in the fucking round with, where you're like, did he win this fight? I think he did. And maybe he lost, maybe he won. It was too high of a skill set where it was like, bro.
You ripping punches, dude? You throw a lot of punches? A lot of punches and bunches?
Now,
I used
A lot
to.
of punches and bunches?
he's a natural counter puncher.
You
Okay,
counter punches?
a natural counter.
Focus is counter punching.
He likes to make them miss and make them pay.
Yeah.
All right,
That's fair.
But when he
I
rips,
respect it.
it's different. Right now, when I'm incorporating in training with this, just letting his hands go. Don't be so fucking. Like, it's great that you can counter
He's
somebody.
got speed.
But what if the other guy's a counter puncher?
See,
Fuck
all
you
the
gonna do,
guys got
stare at
speed
each
you
other?
fight, though. All the guys got speed you
100%. There's not gonna be a dude
Speed's
that's
not really an advantage there, really. You guys are all ripping fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all
Like,
really
you got it.
fast. They're all coming.
I love boxing.
And you know, and so for him, the you know, the
20
overall thing was okay. Now Gio's here. He got reinvigorated. You know, after before New York, he was already reinvigorated at the Golden Gloves. This sparked it even more. And now we're gonna be on June 18th for Bobby Hits and Rosemont. It's gonna be people don't know yet, but this night's gonna be fucking. There's gonna be like fucking.
I'm excited for it already because
It's
I
gonna
know
be,
you guys are all fighting on unanimous.
And I think what's cool for you, Tyler, is you just went from shithole Indiana to now seeing this, and this is gonna be like going from fucking the fucking local broadcast network to fucking HBO. I mean, it really is.
That's what we want to do. That's our goal, is to take Chicago boxing and right here. This is it. If you guys want to break it down, let's just really go over Chicago boxing real quick. You running a big game, and Lalo is. There's the other gyms. The Tri-Cities do. Them are amateur gyms. I'm just saying. Let's just talk amateurs and pro. You're mixed in both.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. In our level of where we're at, look, in 2019 we had 26 fucking people sign up for the Golden Gloves, and out of the 26 we had 15 of them win. Okay, we pulled a huge number in 2019 Golden Gloves. He was one of our winners. We had like fucking 4 people go to nationals, plus all of our masters, novice division people. We were turning and burning. We were on the fucking hottest streak. We're ready to open up our second location in West Loop. We thought this motherfucker, we were gonna blow down the doors in the city of Chicago, period. Then, the pandemic happened like it did everybody the fuck else, and life happened.
Yeah.
Those fighters that you were helping by being there every day for them and giving them a routine in the sense of fighters.
You lost.
Look, dude, maybe college was now the time for them to do because they're going to be home all day. There's no place for them to
So
go.
you're saying it wasn't good in the last 2 years for the sport of boxing?
No, absolutely the fuck not. I mean, it wasn't good for anybody. But let alone,
But it was really
let alone
bad
for
for
us.
boxing.
For boxing, I mean, we were shut down for 2 years almost.
Is that why you think maybe like the YouTube boxers came up in the last 2 years because of like maybe the real boxing got shut down, so other people got involved in the sport, and you got maybe the Jake Paulers.
I think
Because they
so.
entered in.
It's
How
a-
the fuck do you enter in? You know how I not to change the topic on it, but I was just watching how he.
Jake
entered
Paul's
in.
phenomenal for boxing, by the way.
Yeah, I'm a supporter of those guys.
I'm a fucking
I'm
huge
a
supporter. You know
supporter,
why?
too.
Because when we went to fucking the Katie Taylor Monte Serrano thing, where Jake Paul was there, where Jake Paul was there at the weigh-ins, there are 2 6-year-olds, fucking 6 or 7-year-olds behind us, right? Jake Paul! Those motherfuckers would never showed up to boxing.
That's where I'm going with
The
this.
new group
That's
of people
where I'm
that have
going
showed
with
up into boxing now
Mark,
are these
helping
people
us.
who don't give a fucking flying shit about Pedro and fucking Bob fighting each other.
I know.
They want more now.
I know.
They want the backstories.
I know.
They want the 24/7s. They want the
this.
fucking Jake
They want
Pauls of the
this.
world.
They want
They want to
this.
build the real deal. What's currently going on in front of us right now?
Yeah.
Where it's all the backstory. People don't know. People don't have
They
the
don't give a
slightest
fuck if you're a pro. They just want to.
They don't realize-
you got beef with this motherfucker.
They don't realize that that here I am as a fucking trainer
Working.
going to go find his fucking next opponent. What the fuck? If you're watching fucking HBO or what's it called, you don't realize that I'm the matchmaker, the fucking valet guy, the fucking meal guy, the weight checker, the sweat wiping off son of a bitch. But they don't realize that. They just see me as the guy in the corner, like, wow, he has a cool job.
I know,
Fuck.
and I
It's a
know
cool
that.
job, but there ain't no fucking money in it most of the time.
Yeah.
And we're building to get there.
And-
We're building to get there. And that's the goal, is for him to get to the point where this is his full-time job. He treats it right now as his full-time
Well,
job, God bless.
You might even not fight. If we go off how the Paul brothers, man, you might not even fight a boxer for your. So how? Well, go back to what I was saying. He fought.
I doubt that.
They were the double. So the reason he only fought a boxer is because they were the same YouTube followers. There was that boxer, the black boxer out of where
KSI.
UK. Yeah,
KSI.
he's a rapper too or something.
Yeah.
Had the same amount of followers as Logan, or I think it was Logan or Jake, one of them, and so they were just like, that's how they knew each other. They're both at the top, just like the
Yeah.
top fighters.
Yeah.
So they were like, you should fight this motherfucker, just saying it. So he called him out. And
I remember the
I'll
whole
go
entire
fight
thing.
him.
Yeah.
He didn't go into it like he tried to enter into boxing like that.
Yeah.
And it's just that's how that got started. So, and maybe you're gonna fight the new YouTube sensation.
I doubt it, because
Money's right.
It's
Well,
money.
yeah, but
Anybody in front of me.
but then again, and the Instagram ain't right. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about for them. It's about the content. These are huge content guys, right? Like nobody gets a fucking shot against fucking Floyd Mayweather, but this guy does because hey,
So the
he's gonna
followers.
bring
That
in.
goes back to the same
He's gonna
thing.
bring in the whole world. So
That's it.
it
With
goes
money.
back to it where
Money.
when I think about how we're going to move him to the next level, it's a strategic marathon. It's fucking step after step and block after block how we move him. In women's boxing, you gotta fucking.
Should you think he should encourage himself? That he should build a character for himself on social media?
I thought that, look, if he's not, and me and him had this conversation. Your fucking Instagram handle for any boxer that's out there can't be fucking Jizzy69. It just can't. Nobody's gonna fucking want their fucking 9-year-old to look at Jizzy69. Put your fucking thing up
I'm
as
100 on that.
Giovanni fucking Martinez.
Knockout King.
Okay, Giovanni Martinez,
I like
and then
knockout
you start
King,
setting up your stuff officially. You know what I'm saying? You start
It's a
to do
business.
it.
It's a business.
This
man.
is a
Now, the more
business.
guidance he's giving you.
If you wake up at 5 a.m. show, you're waking up at 5 a.m. Right? If you're in a business meeting, show you're in a business meeting. Don't mean you gotta show them what you're in a business meeting for. It could be for fucking your job interview at McDonald's.
You like that, 'cause
Who
people
gives a
are watching,
shit?
they see you
Show them
grinding.
what it is. People want to get the inside scoop.
They're gonna
That's
see
why
what
all
you
this
hear.
shit's good. 24/7 on fucking HBO. 24/7. It was edited. That wasn't fucking. It was an edited fucking show. But everybody wanted to see it because they want to know if fucking Marquez is drinking fucking piss. Those are the things people want to see. Did you see him motherfucking drinking piss? Did you watch it? No, you didn't catch it. Watch it at 8 o'clock on HBO.
You're right though.
Compared to fucking
You get it.
streaming, and
You
you're
get
able to
it.
see it every
He
day.
gets it. He gets it.
I
And
wanna
you got
see
him in
it.
your
It's
corner.
all entertainment.
It's all fucking entertainment at the end of the day, and
Right.
that's what we were talking about. It's not really relevant to your fight, but what is relevant to your fight is what you build yourself up to be. And I think that's important in marketing, and I think that he's in the right direction, and you got someone looking out for you like that, and that's why he brought you here. Because that's my profession, is just marketing.
Well, look. I can market them as much as you want. Like let's keep it real. I mean, What is it? Not Logan.
We been bringing all your guys.
Who's the other
You ain't
fucking
flying
Jake
all your
Paul?
fucking
No, I'm talking about Jake Paul.
Oh.
Who's the real good one? Logan or Jake?
I think Jake's the boxer that's trying to go pro. Logan's the one who fought Mayweather.
Okay.
They both do a big thing.
Logan, who went and fucking fought Floyd Mayweather, a prime example. Okay.
That's
Why are we
what
not
makes
hearing
it
about him anymore? What the fuck happened to Logan?
He was the one that
Because
started
He's
it
the
all.
one who started.
He
Why?
got-
Because he's losing. No, but at the end of the day, you gotta show at least a little bit of skill. And even though the other guy's not even close to the level that he believes he's at, he's fighting guys like the MMA guys who do have a combat sports background. So it looks good at the end of the day. If you have a combat sports background, be like, oh, he could obviously take a punch.
Yeah.
Not a boxing punch, but he could take a fucking punch for whatever it's worth.
Punches a bunch
At the end of the day, Ryan Garcia, everybody's like, oh, Ryan Garcia is
hangs out
shit.
with those
Ryan
guys.
Garcia is not shit. Ryan Garcia is a 7-time national.
He's a good-looking cat
fucking
on
champ
social media,
who knew how to
though,
wear
the
his
pretty boy.
championship. Went ahead and turned pro in Mexico at 16, 17 years old. But his social media made him this
Yes.
much more of a star,
Yes.
and his skill set was already here. Now the question is, can he take his skill set here? That's what this is all about. For me, his skill set is here, and his social media is fucking right around here. Right?
So we gotta work
his
on
next
your social
his
media.
next thing is to build the social media.
It's Karen.
for
We're
him.
working on it right now.
Olivia,
Quiet guy, bad boy Gio.
Olivia is
Knockout king.
Olivia is my Arturo Gotti of my fucking of the women's boxing division. Olivia's gonna be right there fucking slugging and banging away with anybody I put her in the fucking ring with, and she's gonna be right there being able to fucking handle.
Isn't
She's
that crazy
Arturo
that,
Gotti.
that Chicago boxing is more dominated by women boxers? And then Rick Ramos has got all women boxers. Who's those two big wigs she's got? He's got like
You got Summer Lynn and Jessica McCaskill.
yeah. So
You know, and you know, look, you know what is what's
and
coming
he's
down.
out. And he's with you.
I'll come in and
So he's got
sitting
all
with
the
me,
best.
and
He's
he
part of
has
every
Olivia
female
with it,
boxer in
and he
Chicago.
gets a look at most of all the ones that come in and out that we bring in for sparring.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at the end of the day, what it ends up coming down to, and this is just fucking anybody could tell me I'm a liar, go ahead and say it. They work harder. They're trying to prove
I thought that when I was sitting next to her, I
women
thought
try
she's
to
work-
prove,
she's working way harder than you.
and I can only say that for Olivia.
This when she
I
talked,
can only
she was
speak
so
for Olivia.
serious.
I know how Jessica
felt that.
McCaskill and Summerlin train. They outwork everybody else. They're the hardest working people in that room at that time. So so with her, I had a couple people that started with me in June of 2020 when the fucking pandemic hit and we reopened up gym. Only one lasted
That's how it should be.
at that
though.
time, and that was Olivia.
I mean, they going hard.
And honestly, I'm not mad at any of them. Still cool with every last one of them. But at the end of the day, they couldn't fucking work hard enough to make themselves at it. And right now, I've learned that women's boxing, they fucking work harder. And these little motherfuckers, I told him straight up. I looked at him at Madison Square Garden, and I said, if you give me everything you got, you give me a year and a half, we'll fight somewhere like this. You give me everything that you got.
Does everyone talk to you like people are just upping your skill to another level, man? Like,
He knows how good he is, and that's why we're pissed off.
Yeah, no one's even harping your skill. Like, yeah, you can be a world champion. You just you're like, shit, man. I was like partying in college, so those bitches were fine. Yeah.
You know, and you know what? And I tell people this all the time. Like, it's one of these things where it would be hard for me if I knew him at 18 and he was going away for college. Everybody's like, well, college is obviously the best choice, and yeah, of course
Especially
it
back
fucking
in
is.
6, 7
Of course it is. But I've been with you since you were fucking 10 years old. I want to see a return on my motherfucking investment. By you turning pro. What? Am I fucking stupid by saying it? I'm not.
No, I love what you
Fucking
say.
Summerlin turned fucking pro with Rick
You got
Ross
one
when she
coming,
was
man. You got a
18.
lot. You
When
gambled
she
a
was
lot
18,
of hands.
and I know that.
You need
You
to
know
pay
what?
out.
And you know what though? But like Summerlin turned pro when she was 18. Fucking thank God. You know what I'm saying? But you know, at the end of the day, that investment's still going, and he's gonna fucking reap it. But he at least knows she turned pro, and her record has developed, and what's it called? I couldn't imagine being with somebody when they're fucking 8 years old, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? I'm gonna take off the next 4 years and go to college. I'll be like, oh well, I'm fucked. Yeah, bro, that's why. I mean, really, look at it. Northern Michigan University is one of the only places
I'm fucked.
that fucking Northern Michigan University gets scholarships for boxing. Adrian Broner went there. Timothy Bradley went there. There was
Where
a
did
great-
Adrian Broner go?
Northern Michigan.
For boxing?
Yeah, in Traverse City, Michigan.
Traverse City. That's not what. Yeah, it's Northern Michigan.
It's
That's where
fucking
I'm from.
Northern Michigan.
I'm
Yeah,
from-
I know it well because I used to go out there and go spar guys out there. But they were the best. Broner,
Mayweather came from Grand Rapids.
Timothy Bradley. Yep, Timothy Bradley.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about they didn't live there.
What happened?
They
to
went there for
fucking
college.
Bradley
Well,
and
Bradley retired.
Ronan acted like an idiot. and then
He
got rid of him.
retired. He's ESPN commentator now. Good for him. He made millions. God bless. But what I'm saying is
That was a
that
quick career. Holy fuck.
a lot of them go there. They go there for a year because they want to experience the college life and still box, and then they leave and they become millionaires and fucking turn pro. I'm not mad at them. There's no fucking college way for this. And
So
for
you ain't
me,
picking up no more 8-year-olds though and waiting until
it's gonna be hard, bro.
College.
Look, I'm gonna be straight with you. My son's boxing right now, and my son just started. He's 14 years old, and I refuse to train the kid.
Because you don't want to be going through.
I don't want to be that dad, dude. I don't want to be that fucking dad
What happened? We got
who,
light
sit-
out.
who sits there and you're gonna be that kid, son. I don't look. My son's my son. I don't need my son to be my fucking next prodigy. Now I say that now, and who knows? This little motherfucker comes to me in 5 years from now, and he's the next coming of fucking Oscar De La Hoya.
You're not
Nigga,
mad.
I'm not delusional. No, I'm not mad. But I would love for him to be, but I can't manage him. And I can't. What's it
Sounds
called?
like Trinity, he's been through a few letdowns
A few.
where we need to. He's been through too many letdowns and investments.
You know
He's
what?
out of
You know
line.
what? No. That's
Are
actually
you gonna
not
give
it.
this to the man?
No, I'm not. You know what? I'll be
He ain't
if
saying he
I
wants it
sat
from you,
here,
but man, I'm feeling with this man. He
this
needs
shit might
love.
take me 2 years before I see a penny back.
Oh,
Okay?
all of these. None of yours are
The
overnight. They're
2
years.
years is an
2 years.
understatement. I know I'm undering that by fucking
You had
5.
to meet him. You had to look at him online 2 years ago and follow him for 2 years.
What,
then meet him for 2 years.
what I'm saying is like, at the end of the day, it's like if I'm looking at this as a return of investment, I'm delusional. What I look at this is a fucking possibility.
Opportunity.
And a possibility for an opportunity. And am I willing to waste my time, my money, and my energy on
Yep.
doing it? And the answer is yes for
Yeah.
Giovanni.
And me too.
Because
I'm in.
Giovanni's
I'm
too
in.
high. I mean, Olivia,
This
her
guy's
work,
preaching.
Olivia, his ability is too high.
I'm listening
Olivia,
to what he says,
Olivia,
and the man plays the sport.
Olivia was simple. Olivia's fucking her will to want it was too much. I couldn't fucking resist it. Okay.
I felt that.
Okay,
When she
it was
talked,
too much.
I felt that.
It was too much. With Rick, what he brought to the table, I couldn't turn it down.
Yeah,
even
I
though
know.
I,
I'm thinking about
even
it
though
all
I
too.
did,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though I did,
Yeah.
right? But what
You had
the,
to let the ego
the
down,
return on
the
the
connection.
investment has already shown.
Yeah.
Gratitude. Our opportunity with Fight Starts was too big.
You made a
We
great
couldn't
decision.
turn it down.
It's a great
I mean,
decision.
plain and simple. With him, the best thing that he has going for him is he's not damaged goods. He's not. And it's funny because people are like, he's 1-on-1. Yes, he's damaged goods. You're fucking
Nah, he
delusional.
needed to break
If
from
you've
boxing.
never seen him fight,
He
you're
got the skill.
stupid.
He got the
Yeah, and
skill.
that's why I look at it. The skill's all there.
Just needed
The
to
goods
break.
are still there. But him himself has to believe it so
You
he can
find the
bring it out.
passion and get so you're not saying you have a problem, but if we can work on anything with you, we just got to get you more love in the sport, more, and just got to give you more fire. You don't get the fire, maybe.
At the end of the
But I think
day,
in the ring you got fire, or even in the corner, you just like, shit, what's going on this weekend, man?
do you know how confident I am on making this statement? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how confident I am in both of them?
Hell yeah, you
and
put your
Gio?
money where your mouth
Well, no, yes, okay, but that has nothing to do with it.
Well, it speaks
So
a lot of
confident enough
confidence.
so that I know come June 18th that the 2 fights they're gonna talk about is the skilled little fucking guy and the fucking Olivia.
Ticket sales are right
Yeah,
here.
what's
Bobby
it
hits.
called?
The
The
ticket
fucking-
sales are coming from right
No,
here.
yeah, Bobby.
Oh, no.
Trinidad Garcia, Unanimous Boxing. You can get it from us there at either location, 1356 West Lake Street, or fucking,
Or Logan Square.
or 2764 North Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You guys can get it from us.
Yeah.
Talk to us. We'll get it. We're turning and burning. If you fucking follow him on Instagram, I have no idea what his Instagram handle. Trinidad 1202.
What about me? Where do they get tickets if they're watching?
Or they can go
They come
fucking
to
through
me?
Tyler. You guys can go through Tyler and Tyler's group.
Yeah.
Which I was gonna call you Chicago Fabrication.
No, whatever blows your hair back.
Whatever blows your hair back.
We
We have the same haircut.
Blow back, baby.
And we'll be more than happy to get you guys fucking taken care of because it's gonna be a fucking hell of a night, June 18th.
Dude, I can't wait for it. I'm excited right now just because I know you guys are gonna be in the house, and just all the other people I know it's gonna be in the house, and we're just gonna have our crew there.
There's so many more announcements to be made by June 18th.
What
that
we doing?
I can't announce them yet.
Yeah.
But when we're ready to, I'm gonna come back here first.
Yeah.
I'm gonna announce them here
Yep.
first. We're gonna
I
come.
wanna be-
There'll be a fucking 5-minute
We're gonna build June
conversation
18th
quick,
up,
and we're
big.
gonna what's called June 18th is gonna be massive,
Yeah.
massive. And
Yeah.
if you're not there, you're fucking losing out on
You're
an
losing
opportunity
out.
for
Best
that.
boxers.
We're gonna
best
see
media,
2 future world
best
champions. No doubt in my
coverage.
mind.
Best, just the showcase of Chicago on June 18th, I think is going to be bomb. I think just the people that's showing up to support it, just from what I know, the media coverage that's going to come. You guys,
The quiet kid that you see here right now is
gonna
the,
light
you guys,
shit
dude.
up.
He's a quiet kid, but he's also the quiet storm. This fucking kid's gonna fuck some shit up come June 18th. I'm that confident in it. That confident.
I can't wait.
It's
for
just bananas. I mean, I don't worry about anybody I put him in the ring with. You know, we're just gonna dominate it. It's gonna be one hell of a night to the rest of the fucking year. Because we already started this year off with wins. We went to Iowa for Olivia and got that win there. Now we're gonna be here, thank God, in our hometown, probably representing a whole different
representing
fucking
this.
food, representing everything.
Trinidad's got 2 gyms, 2 locations, puts on the sport of boxing, runs through Chicago as a guy.
If you guys can't get a hold of me as Trinidad Garcia, get a hold of Lalo. Because Lalo,
What's Lalo's last name? How do you say Lalo's last name?
I always call him a fucking beaner, but
yeah. What are fucking
but I'm Mexican, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Lalo Baez. Baez.
But it was a great. I was saying he isn't in here right now, but if I got anything to say about the sport of boxing, Lalo's got a lot to why I'm talking to you. Well,
100%.
I mean, Lalo's a guy.
Lalo's the one guy everybody likes.
You walk
know,
into a gym,
and if you don't like him, there's probably something wrong with you before you fucking.
I walk in the gym, he had his shirt off, happy as fuck, and I'm like, dude, this dude works off with his shirt off too. I'm like, I work out with my shirt off, and like I kind of picked that up with him. We did that when I first met him at Oakley. I don't know if you guys do that at Unanimous, but that's how it was my first thing with Lalo. This motherfucker's always got his shirt off. Took my shirt off.
It's because he has stomach problems. He never gains weight, but that's a whole different story. What's it called? But no, you know what? You know what? Honestly. Can't get a hold of me, you get a hold of him. Lalo is my right hand man when it comes to everything that goes on there.
Amazing guy.
And so when push comes to shove, that's why we're a team. It's because of Lalo. You know, I mean, Lalo came in to Unanimous at a time where my team was very thin.
I knew how he came in.
He came in fucking not my story to tell, but he came in at a time where my amateur prospects were still very thin. But we were built as a business already, so we had the means to be able to go ahead and take these fighters to nationals where he couldn't take care of. Where I knew we could do that, and as I knew as a businessman too, is as we meet these fighters, I get close to these fighters, which you build a relationship, which then maybe we move on to the higher level, maybe we don't. In this case, we did. We position ourselves to be.
You are positioned
100%.
100% to do well in Chicago boxing as a whole. But we want Chicago boxing big. I
want Chicago boxing big. I want it big. I want to say it right now. I want the biggest fights to be here. It's going to take a lot of work to be able to do it. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people in this city of Chicago has made other people in the city of Chicago not even want to talk to each other. And until that gap gets smaller, it's never gonna get.
I feel like we're filling some gas, man. I feel like we're bringing some.
I hope so.
I feel like
you know what's gonna end up fucking eventually happening is we're gonna use that ring in the other room, and it's gonna be fucking gym owner versus gym owner, and just go take it out on each other.
You've already seen it.
Or manager versus manager, or trainer versus trainer. Because I'll be honest with you, I got about 4 of them motherfuckers I'll fuck up tomorrow. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest about what the circumstances are.
I want to feed these 4 motherfuckers. I will say it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, no,
bro.
We'll need security in this motherfucker before half of us are in the room.
I love this shit. I'll be right in the middle of all of it.
You know what I mean? Hey, it's always a thing.
Give me the date.
But that's stupid because let's be honest with you. For us to say that means I'm fighting a 90-year-old man. You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting on what's it called? We know it's not going to fucking happen that way. You know what I mean? What it is more than anything else is just, it needs to come down with, there needs to be, most of the arguments in this city when it comes to trainer, manager, promoter, is all hearsay. All of it is. You know what Billy said yesterday? Billy said you were a jagoff. Hey, Billy said you fucking sucked a dick. It never gets, it's like that old phone game, right? The phone, who passed around a fucking rumor. I'd be like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, I wish you would give me a call back. How the fuck did a call back go to he blew you? It doesn't make any sense.
How does one fighter talk about? I don't know if you heard about him. His name's White Lightning. He's Tri-City.
Tommy Hughes.
I'm a big fan of Tommy.
Tommy used to work for me at Unanimous.
And I used to spar him
Were you
8 years ago.
You were wrong when Tommy worked for me.
Tommy, a really great guy. His Billy, his uncle.
No, his brother?
No, his brother is a boxer, but his uncle, he's like a football coach. Is how I met him. older guy. He fought
Oh,
the
no
Golden
shit.
Gloves and won. At
Oh, I
55
know,
years
I
old.
know he is. Yeah, I know what
Crazy
the
motherfucker.
massive,
Huge.
the massive division. Yeah.
Massive division, and he is an amazing guy.
Tommy's awesome. Tommy's one of the nicest
Nice
kids
guy.
in boxing.
Nice.
I match made for his last fight. His fight in Iowa that he made, I got
he
him
just
that.
won. Is he fighting on the card? What I was saying is he gonna fight in this card?
I have no idea. I
He
don't
was
know.
on the card with him.
But I went ahead, and I'm the one who found him that match. I got him the opponent and got him into Iowa, and I had help with Pat White knows what Ramos
Pat
does.
White's always better than
and I was able to take care of getting him the right opponent and getting him rounds in after 2 years off. I mean,
he
Tommy's
took 2 years off. I don't know why.
Tom, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you need that.
Same
Sometimes,
reason here. Yeah. he
I mean,
did.
Tommy unfortunately got knocked out previously to him taking those 2 years off. And when that kind of thing happens, and this isn't just for Tommy, it's for everybody.
Yep.
Sometimes you need to take a step back and
That's
be
fine.
like, yo, I'm not going to go jump back in the ring next month.
Yeah,
You got knocked out. That brain is telling you to stop for a minute.
that's fair.
And slow it down. And sometimes I think that's the number one thing. And you got to have the right people around you to be able to tell you, let's take a moment. And I think Pat White is the perfect dude to tell him
He's
that.
a badass.
Pat White's known Tommy for forever.
Yeah.
So if there's anybody that's going to look out for the career better for Tommy, it's him. And then coincidentally, Tommy worked for me. And we left on great terms. I fucking love that kid. So when they asked, hey, will you match make for it? I said, of course. And I knew the kind of point that we were looking for to get him the rounds and see how Tommy is, again, back in the ring.
Yeah.
And that's me caring for him like the way I care for him and like the way I care for Olivia. If Olivia's not ready for fucking, Clarissa Shields tomorrow, that's not the best step to take. It's hard to turn down undisputed world championships of the world. But if she's not ready, and I think she's physically going to get hurt, I have to then bring that to the table. I'm still going to let them make that decision, but you have to bring it to the table and be like, yo, here are our options. Right?
I like it. I like everything you stand for.
And and that's the biggest thing I think in Chicago boxing. I think everybody working with each other and understanding each other is a big part of it. It's not there yet, but I think I think we're taking the right step towards it. And but Bobby Hicks, who I know has been on this show, he used to always call me Dominic's boy.
I know.
Okay.
Dominic's twins over here.
He always called me Dominic's boy.
I know. He still
And
does.
the reason why he called me Dominic's boy was because I turned pro with 8 count productions. I turned pro with the guy, and I fought for almost all of his shows. Let alone does Bobby Hicks not know that at the age of fucking 15, I was stealing pro gloves from his shows because I didn't have fucking equipment. So I used to go back there and be the glove guy. So there's a guy who goes in every pro fight. Every fight in the fucking world would run, and there would be a guy who would collect the gloves from the non-main event fighters. If it's a title fight, you keep your gloves. If you're a non-title fight, the promoters recycle the gloves. They usually switch the laces out because pro gloves can be used a couple fights for a couple of probably, let's say 3 or 4 fights of a bunch of 4-rounders, then they have to get rid of them. And I had no gloves. So Bobby Hicks and them used to fucking pay me $100 for the night to collect the gloves and put them in a bag. But a couple pair of gloves left those bags, and they were to Trinidad Garcia and my 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old ass. But that's where I learned how to fucking what I didn't want to be. It wasn't because of Bobby, but you watch some of these other managers be like, yeah, bro, you're gonna be fine. This guy's a bum. All of a sudden he's in there with fucking, the next cruiserweight champion of the world. You're like, bro, what the fuck? You're 5-12 fighting a fucking 25-0 guy. I knew what I didn't want to see my fighters become, or the people I cared enough about. So managing them and fucking seeing them succeed and giving them the right fights is part of it. Is watching that template. The only template I have for somebody like Olivia was Rick Ramos with Jessica McCaskill. Watching how he maneuvered her career taking the right fights, taking the right moves, calling out the right people at the right time, and now she is where she's at. Right? With guys, it's a longer process. I can't call nobody right now. I'll be like, yeah, Giovanni's gonna fight Lomachenko. They'll fucking give us the finger and tell us to go fuck ourselves. Right? But the reality is that, okay, maybe in 7 fights from now, we call out a guy 8-0. Or we call out maybe that fucking same guy that he lost to. Maybe we go back to that fucking asshole and be like, hey, you're 8-2 now, and we're fucking 8-1. How about that rematch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just
Tell me
all
why.
hypothetical, but it could easily happen. Olivia, somebody 4-1 is the equivalent of a man's 21-2. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Fucked up. Yeah.
It's
I
crazy,
get it now.
but that's just because there's not enough of them. That's as simple as that. But I think with him, it's about building him and really seeing where he's going to end up going.
So,
and as long as he stays disciplined, I can't. I tell him all the time, I can't watch what you put in your fucking mouth every 5 minutes.
So who we got coming up?